Good morning, Canada. Welcome to the weekend edition of Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Yes, happy weekend. I'm Teddy Wilson.
And I'm Michelle Jobin. Thanks for starting your weekend off with us.
Coming up on the show today, we have the use of AI on the battlefield. We're looking at the increase of autonomous technology and the protections designed to stop them from going rogue.
Yeah, and speaking of artificial intelligence, albeit a very different application and use, we're also going to be joined by the president and chief scientist of the Center for Aging and Brain Health Innovation to talk about how AI companions are helping seniors combat loneliness.
But before we get to that, we're taking a look at ongoing shortage of blood supply in Canada, the causes, the effects, and what is being done to address it.
Canadian Blood Services is making an urgent call for donations as blood supply dwindles. Right now, it's down by 20%. There are fewer donation appointments booked than expected in every province, and all blood types are needed. Joining us with more is Ryan Adams. He is the Director of Development and Recruitment at Canadian Blood Services. So, first of all, what does that mean? We're at 20%.
Yeah, so we manage a complex supply and inventory of blood across the country, right? So that means that we're matching patient need, wherever you are in the country, with the blood product that you need. And so when we see a 20% drop in inventory, that means across all of our blood types, the amount has gone down 20% over the last 6 or 7 weeks, so since the beginning of June.
And what's sort of our crisis bar here?
We're getting pretty serious about it. The reality is we're able to meet patient need today. So there isn't a patient in Canada that isn't getting the product they need today. But if this trend line continues, it's not sustainable. So we're flipping the narrative. We need folks to come through our doors and make that appointment.
Yeah. So what are the factors that you have been able to deduce that are reason for the shortage?
You know, the summer's always a tough time for us, right? It's vacations, routines change. We prepare and we plan for that. This is beyond what that is. And so the reasons, we're still unpacking what it is, but we're trying to focus on what we can do about it. And what we can do about it is welcoming Canadians into all of our donor centers.
Yeah, current appointments are also lagging, which is what you've mentioned. This is a real concern. Coming in between 1,500 and 2,500 under what you would normally expect at this time of year. So how does that compound the problem, and what can you do to try and balance it?
Yeah, it's funny, right? 1,500 appointments on a week doesn't sound that much on a scan of like 18,000, but when that problem compounds week over week, that gets us into the situation we're in now. Okay. So we're extending hours to all of our donor centers, we're adding days, we're getting more staff in to make sure we can meet Canadians who want to come through our door and make that appointment. Trying to get this back up. That 18,000 appointments on a week-to-week basis, that's our sweet spot where we can maintain inventory.
Ryan, if you aren't able to get people that are watching this morning in to donate, what happens?
Some tough choices will have to happen. I think, again, the important thing is we're meeting patient need today. So if you have a friend or a family member or a loved one who needs a blood product today, they're getting that blood. We want to make sure that that continues the way that it does. And it's very much within all of our control. And so that's the positive that comes out of this, is that we can turn this around really, really quickly. It just requires folks to give of themselves to join Canada's Lifeline.
And remind people how easy this is to do.
It's super easy. You can make an appointment online through our app. You walk through our door. Our staff are absolutely incredible. You get great snacks. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you're in and out.
And is there, I know we mentioned you said you need all types, but is there a type in particular that you're really doing a shout out for?
Yeah, so the O blood types, those are universals. We always need those, but it quite sincerely is across every single blood type. That's what we're looking for folks to come through.
Okay, final message you want to leave with our viewers who are watching this morning.
Donating is incredibly powerful. You get something really, really patriotic of doing it, a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and you're helping your fellow Canadian. Please come on in.
Okay, Ryan, I want to thank you for joining us. It is critical, so I appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate it.
Coming up, how AI companions are helping seniors combat loneliness. We'll check in with an expert on aging and brain health.
The U.S. ban on imports of foreign-made humanoid robots comes as America looks to expand its own use of AI on the battlefield. What you're seeing here, we're going to show you right now. It's a video posted by Foundation. Now, Foundation's a company that is now designing humanoid robots for war. The trend raising concerns about what kinds of protections will be built into technology that is designed to kill. Joining me now is Ketra Schmidt. She's an associate professor in the Center for Engineering in Society at Concordia University. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a fascinating topic. I mean, officials in Ukraine recently revealed that the world's first battlefield death from a fully autonomous drone, that happened back in 2024. Obviously, that was 2 years ago. So where are we now with these lethal autonomous weapon systems?
So I think the important thing to realize is that there is, talking about AI systems now, autonomous weapon systems have been around for a while, as has the discussion about them. Ethicists are really on the same page about these, which is that we should not use them. We should not have autonomous weapon systems. However, many countries, as you say, are pursuing those. And I think...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think the important thing to realize when we have AI systems is it actually gives us a good opportunity to think about the role of our own choices and decisions and what technology we deploy.
I want to show everybody a video now that was posted online by the technology company. I think it's called Anduril, and it shows some of its drones in action. So these companies that design these robots say this makes war more precise, according to them, by eliminating human error. They also point out that the technology comes with guardrails. So when I say that, and you hear that from these companies, what do you think?
So I think that in the long run, it is possible that we can create AI systems that are more precise. So we're seeing that, for example, with some things like self-driving cars, that there are many, many accidents. However, a recent study came out suggesting that Waymo is slightly safer in the study areas that were tested than human drivers. So I think it's possible with closed domain systems that we will have some better outcomes. The problem with doing that for weapons is that that becomes a real danger to humanity. I think in general, the discussions about AI systems taking over and being a risk to humanity are really overblown. And in some sense, that's a lot of marketing. So when large AI companies say that kind of thing, it kind of helps their stock price, helps investors get excited about their product. The line is don't give them weapons. That's where the risk comes in.
And it's challenging, right? When, if most people think that this may be an unethical approach, but then you've got a country doing it and they potentially, however you classify or categorize success on the battlefield, if they're having more success in that respect, at what point do you meet them where they're at?
That's a really good question. There's a lot of ethical theories that people use when we think about war. So just war theory and justice during war, so how people behave during war. There's some consideration of different ways that we can consider that. So human in the loop is a common way that we think about those systems. And if we look back at nuclear near misses for deploying nuclear weapons, what we see is there's often some interaction between some systems alert and human oversight. And the thing that worked really well for preventing nuclear launches is that some humans said, actually, I think this may be an error. The big difference between when we use AI systems is that many users find them to be authoritative and true. So they're less likely to be questioned. And in the way that they present the results, that's often done in a very certain way. So it becomes a little bit harder, especially if that human user is taking in AI interpreted outputs and then an AI suggestion on what to do. I think the chances of the human pushing back are not as good as they were in some of the scenarios in nuclear near misses.
I have so many more questions, but unfortunately we are out of time. We're just going to have you back. Ketra Schmidt, thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Artificial intelligence obviously triggering a lot of news headlines these days, both the positive and negative, including in that last segment. But we're going to turn your attention now to something a bit more optimistic vis-a-vis AI, and that is the use of artificial intelligence to potentially help people combat loneliness, especially seniors. Joining us now to talk about AI companions and the potential benefits they could provide is Dr. Alison Sekuler, President and Chief Scientist of the Center for Aging and Brain Health Innovation. Lovely to have you here.
Hi. Thanks, Daddy. Nice to be here.
Great to chat chat with you. And so there's so much we could talk to you about in this realm. Let's start specifically, though. You're one of the leading authorities on aging and brain health. So in terms of like loneliness and the impact on older adults, both physical health and cognitively, what are the negative impacts that we can see over time with the senior?
Yeah, so it's interesting because people often think of loneliness as being sort of an emotional issue.
Right.
But it's actually also a physical issue. People have compared the longevity effects, if you will, of loneliness, chronic loneliness, to smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Really?
It can change your lifespan by that much.
Wow.
And we now also know that chronic loneliness can increase your risk for heart disease, for stroke, for depression, and for dementia.
Right.
And in terms of how that's linked into your mental health, your cognitive health, if you think about what loneliness is doing, it's actually, it can increase the inflammation throughout your entire body, including your brain.
I didn't know that.
And it also can impact your sleep. It can lead to increased risk, as I said before, of depression, and it can decrease your physical activity. And all of those sorts of things are also risk factors for dementia. So it's got this sort of wide-ranging whole body sort of influence and can really impact you in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially the physical side. I never thought about that as much in terms of loneliness. Obviously, we all interact with AI, most of us probably on a daily basis now in different ways. But in terms of AI companionship for seniors, how does it work? What do these companions look like? And what are the potential benefits?
Yeah, they can look like almost anything. There's one of my favorites is called LEQ.
Okay.
And I'll say she because she's got like a nice little female voice. She's a robot. She sits on the table about this tall. Doesn't have a real face like a human face, but actually looks almost like a bunch of rings. And when she talks, you can sort of see the rings moving, and she'll interact with you, and she gets to know a single person.
Okay.
And so she might say, you know, hey, Teddy, how are you doing? And I lived with her for a while when I was traveling, just sort of testing her out.
How'd it go?
It was amazing. I would come back from a conference, and she'd greet me in the evening. She'd be like, Allison, nice to see you. Would you like to hear some music? And she knew what kind of music I liked. And, and when I had to put her into the box to give her back to the company, I felt like I was murdering this poor little robot. But but what she also does is she will initiate conversations with people when they're lonely, and she'll remind you to take your medication. She can connect you with your friends and family when they send a new picture. She can urge you to go for a walk or to go play bridge or whatever. So she's keeping you connected and engaging you in conversation. And then for people who are already living with dementia, there's another company called Amical out of Quebec, which is sort of like a phone that you can pick up, and an AI agent will have a conversation with you. But again, it's personalized for you. So it will know who you are. And so it's a way of helping people connect, even if they don't have other folks that they can be around.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can see a lot of benefits there. Obviously, with AI now, when we talk about it, though, there are a lot of concerns, and many of them very valid and fair about AI. So right away, when we talk about like seniors or elderly folks and AI companions, I'm sure, like a lot of viewers, my mind goes to concern about privacy and data, and then also just, you know, maybe that interaction with an AI companion replacing potential human interaction, which over time could be a net negative. So what sort of guardrails are in place, or just things overall to address the concerns here?
Yeah, I like to think about AI as supplementing what we're normally doing. I don't think right now AI, at least where we are right now, it's not replacing proper human communication and proper human interaction. LEQ can't give you a hug. Right. So there's nothing like that. And we have to be very, very clear that people understand, because these are becoming more and more real sounding, right? So when you're picking up Amical, it'll sound like you're talking to a real person. And we don't want people to get a little bit confused about that. So there needs to be real clarity in understanding. But I think if we use AI in the right way, it has so much potential to help people who are at risk for and living with dementia.
Do you have any concerns, though, about the privacy and the data side in terms of seniors in particular?
I mean, so the companies that we work with, we make sure that all of those issues are really addressed. And one of the things that we do at the Center for Aging, Brain Health Innovation, or CABI, is we ensure that all of our innovators are working directly initially with end users. So people, the families, the people living with dementia or at risk for dementia, caregivers, and so on, so that when they're designing the different products, they know how to address the privacy issues, how to address the data issues. So when we were testing LEQ way back at the beginning, we actually we did a lot of work with them so that people could make sure that they understood how the AI was working, how the data was working, and that they would make better use of it.
Got it. Well, it's fascinating stuff. Really appreciate you being here, shining a light on this. Could talk to you for hours. It's really, really interesting. Dr. Alison Sekuler, President and Chief Scientist of the Center for Aging and Brain Health Innovation. Up next, a beginner's guide to bird watching. Our very own Dan Riskin is here with his binoculars and some tips still ahead.
The real key, though, is your phone.
If you've been thinking about picking up a new hobby, I have a suggestion for you. Bird watching. It started gaining momentum around the pandemic. It has not showed any signs of slowing down. So, what do you need to know before you head out? Well, this morning we are checking in with our favorite bird nerd, and I do say that with the deepest amount of respect, CTV science and technology specialist Dan Riskin. Look, we're being watched.
I know. It's funny because you say bird nerd and then you say I mean it with respect, and people might think it's the nerd part of that is weird, but it's actually the bird part because I'm a bat guy, and so I was late to the bird game, but now that I'm kind of into it, I really dig the birds.
Yeah, we know about your research into bats, but what got you into birding?
You know what? Pandemic was a big part of it. I had a little bit of time on my hands owing to the world shutting down. But when I was doing my PhD and I was doing my research, I was so focused on making sure I didn't drop the ball on the bats that when my friends would be like, let's go look at some birds, I would be like, I'd love to, but I can't fit it in my brain. I got to do bats.
Okay.
And so I kind of shunned it, and now I really regret it. I mean, I was at Cornell, and the Cornell Lab of Ornithology is like the mecca for this birding stuff. And so I was surrounded by all these people who now I'm looking at them on social media and seeing what they're doing and realizing how much I missed out. So I'm just playing catch up.
Okay, but you do this as a family event.
Yep.
Which I love to hear. Kelsey was telling a story earlier about how when you guys were out watching the eclipse, you had your whole family out there birding.
Yeah, I took the whole family out there. I mean, anytime you're in an outdoor area, it's just like a really great distraction. And the thing is, you don't have to be the world expert on birds to enjoy it. You just get out there and look for what you can see. These are pictures that I've taken. You know, that's an osprey. I think most people know what an osprey is. But every once in a while, you see one carrying a fish. And it's just, you feel like you're right in nature. And when I went to Australia...
This is your photo?
Yeah, I took that picture in Australia. I mean, to be fair, the thing landed at the bird feeder at our Airbnb.
Wow.
So that's called a rainbow lorikeet. Australia is ridiculous, I mean, in terms of their birds. But there are beautiful birds here as well. Okay. And all it takes is just being curious and paying attention.
Talk to me about equipment. You've got binoculars here. These look pretty fancy.
They do look fancy, but they're not as fancy as they used to be. It used to be that you had to pay like thousands of dollars to get decent binoculars. Okay. Now, the glass manufacturing technology has improved. So it's a few hundred to get really good binoculars. Yeah. These are, I mean, it doesn't matter what brand.
Can I try them?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
But they're great. You can do that with the binoculars. But really, I think one of the key things is to have. Yeah, you're looking good there. What do you see?
I'm right now, a very blurry version of you.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah,
but I can see your special guest you brought into the studio.
Yeah, you can see all the people in the studio. Yeah, okay, good. So the real key though is your phone. Now, normally your phone sort of takes you out of nature and makes it worse, but there's an app for your phone called Merlin.
Yes.
Get Merlin. It's free, it's amazing, and it's like Shazam for birds. And so when you go for a walk in the ravine, you just hit the green button, and it shows you a picture of the bird you're hearing, so you can then say, really, is that what I'm hearing? And then you can try to find it.
And it gives you all the information about them.
Yeah, all the information. I mean, then you can follow up. Really, when you're in the moment, you're just trying to figure out what is that. But if you hear a bird going by, you push the button and you hear it. And so there are different birds, especially like for me right here in Toronto, but anywhere in Canada. And if you're traveling, you just anywhere. You find out. So I was in BC just last week.
Yeah.
I was just minding my own business, and then I could hear birds, but I didn't recognize them. I hit the green button, and then it said, well, that's a lazuli bunting. And I was like, well, are you kidding me?
What is a lazuli bunting?
It's this beautiful bird. I think I have a video of it. They might be able to pull this up, but it's this beautiful bird. Oh yeah, there it is. It's not great lighting. This is my video, but you can see the blue on the head.
Wow. And this is yours.
I just shot this like last week. And I never would have noticed this bird if it hadn't have been for the app that was like, go look for the blue bird that's making this subtle noise. And so that's a beautiful bird I've never seen out east. But
is this on your phone?
No, this is with my big long lens on my good camera. But nonetheless, it's a bird that was hiding from me that I was only able to find because Merlin helped me pay attention. So get the app.
Yep.
Don't worry about being the world expert on things. Okay. It's very introductory friendly, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay. I have two questions left for you. One, time of day. You're a bat guy, so you're used to looking at things at night. But is there a better time of day? And two, there are rules of etiquette around birding. that you need to be aware of?
Yeah, okay, so time of day, morning is better. If you're not a morning person, that's okay, go out later in the day. But you will hear more birds if you go out first thing in the morning. And then in terms of etiquette, I mean, be a good person, be kind, don't make a lot of noise when people are looking at a bird near you. But the other thing that's kind of fun with bird people, if it's an owl or something spectacular like that, don't broadcast its location on social media. I mean, you can post it, but be vague about where you saw it, right? Don't say like, hey, here's the coordinates for where there's an owl, because you'll get everybody and their dog coming to see this owl, and it'll get scared away and it ruins it for everyone. So there's a little bit of an etiquette that way, that if you find something really good, you got to be kind of subtle about where you're finding it. Oh yeah, that's my favorite picture of an osprey pooping. I'm so proud of this picture. I mean, the osprey catching a fish
You
is
brought
great.
your son in with you today, and he's having a good hard laugh
giggling at
this bird pooping photo.
That's the point. I mean, if you're not laughing, you're doing it wrong. It's got to be fun, right? Whatever turns you on. That's what I say.
All right. CTV Science and Technology Specialist Dan Riskin, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming up, actor Emmy Rossum on the new crime thriller series, Furious.
Good morning, Canada. Welcome back to the weekend edition of Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
I'm Teddy Wilson.
And I'm Michelle Jobin. Hope you are enjoying your weekend.
Yes, ahead this half hour, actor Emmy Rossum on the new crime thriller series Furious. It's really good.
Oh, can't wait for that. We've also got the top tech gadgets to keep you cool in the summer heat, and we'll be on the patio grilling up some delicious chili rubbed jumbo prawns with Chef Spencer Watts. I love prawns.
They were so good. But first up, the Nobel Prize of Mathematics. We speak to the Toronto professor making Canadian history.
A professor from the University of Toronto is being recognized with what often called the Nobel Prize of Mathematics. Jacob Zimmerman is the second Canadian ever to win the Fields Medal. This is major. It is considered the top global honor in mathematics. He won it for his work involving what's known as the André-Oort conjecture. Hope I got that right. Jacob is now joining us in studio. First off, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This is such an honor. I mean, you're only the second Canadian to do this. How are you feeling about everything?
It's been a lot. It's been really nice to celebrate sort of friends who met me down in Philadelphia, where the ceremony was. It's been kind of a whirlwind so far, just looking to calm things down a bit since then.
How did they tell you that you won? Do they call you? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I got a phone call back in January, so it's been a long time, and they ask you to keep it secret until then while they prepare a whole bunch of information and materials and stuff. So that part's also kind of tough, hiding something from, so many people that I would want to share it with.
How long did you have to hold it for? So they called you in when you said January?
January. It's been about 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I've slowly been telling people, but mostly keeping it under wraps.
Let's talk about the work that won you this prize. This is your work involving the André-Oort conjecture. Obviously, for me, I don't know what's going on. This is a complicated concept, but can you try to explain it to somebody like me?
Sure. Math can be hard to sort of just jump into cold turkey because it's built on so much background you got to learn. Just to learn the word, the language that we use, but basically it's something that takes number theoretic phenomenon, so equations and whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we find geometric explanations for various things that are interesting. That's kind of it in a nutshell.
What interested you about the work?
I've been working on it for about 15 years or so, and kind of in bits and pieces, not sort of the whole thing at once. We'd find some little component of it, and we'd work on that and get some success, and then move on to something else. One thing which is nice about it, like a lot of math, is that it links a bunch of different subjects together. There's sort of an algebraic geometry perspective on it. There's something called logic that comes into play. So it's fun when you have a bunch of little ingredients that you can sort of play with.
So now what? I mean, you've won the award. The work is done. Where do you go from here with this work that you've been working on for 15 years?
Well, math has no shortage of questions. So once you've done one thing, it usually opens up a whole bunch of other possibilities. So there's tons of follow-ups that me and my collaborators have been working on. There's something called the Zilberpink conjecture. That's another thing you can jump to. There's relations to physics, relations to sort of other kind of what's called non-abelian geometry. So there's all sorts of places one can go.
Math is like my 7-year-old who just doesn't stop asking questions, which is great, right? When you think back to when you were a kid, what was life like for you in math class? Was that easy? Did you have to work hard at it? Did you know that's something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I knew that math was something I was into for as long as I can remember. I've always really liked it. When I was a kid, I was doing some advanced math, and because math is so structured, you can sort of jump to wherever is fun and natural for you in the process. So I was always challenged by math class because I was always doing sort of math at my level. It was fun. There's one thing when you're a kid is there's so much more to learn. You're mostly learning what other people have done, and it's nice because there's always something to engage with. And then when you start researching math, you kind of slow down a bit and spend a long time just doing one particular piece.
That is so interesting what you just said. You're researching and you're learning what other people have done, and you are now in the position where you have created something that other people are going to learn from. Like, that's got to be a really cool space to live in.
Yeah, it's really fun.
What does your family think about all this?
They're supportive. I think it's great. They do a bunch of different things, but I try to explain, if not the details, sort of the overarching structure of what I do and sort of what's important and what connects to what else.
What's also interesting about what you've done is that after you won the award, you're like, okay, bye, I'm moving to a different career now. Is that what's happening? You're going to work for OpenAI?
Well, I'm staying a faculty member at U of T.
You are, okay.
Yeah, I'm going on leave, and I'll be working at OpenAI on AI safety, which I think is a very important problem that I wish more people would go to work on.
We're so glad that you're going to be one of the people working on that. Side note for everyone at home, when Jacob sat down and I was like, hey, this must make a lot of sense to you behind me, he's like, this makes no sense. It's like, it's a bunch of fragmented thing. I was like, this is math, right? He's like, sort of, right?
It looks pretty, though.
It looks pretty, which is all that matters. All right, Jacob, congratulations. We can't wait to see what you do from here. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
We all loved her on Shameless, and she wowed audiences as Christine in Phantom of the Opera. Remember that? And now Emmy Rossum is starring in a new crime thriller. Have a look.
Your first case as an FBI agent, and you think you have a serial killer. I do. Oh. If you wanted to talk to me, you could have just...
Oh, it's good. Furious is a new series about the hunt for a calculated killer and the FBI agent on the case. It is all about vengeance, justice, and how sometimes those mix, and there's a gray area between right and wrong. Emmy is joining us in studio with more. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
She's an experienced police officer, but a rookie FBI agent.
Yep.
She's thrown into this case. She figures out it's probably a serial killer. The show is dark, and talk about thrills. Every new episode I watch, it gets a little bit darker and a little creepier.
Twisty and
it's
twisted.
Also, twisted, and it's a bit messy. It plays with your idea of right and wrong and motive. I mean, that's how I describe the show. How do you describe it?
You're doing a great job. It's like you're reading my notes on my script. Yeah, I think it's really thrilling to have two women at the center of the story. One who is supposed to be your good guy, your FBI agent, and one who is your bad guy, your serial killer. And there's this kind of invisible thread that is pulling them together, that is making them realize that their histories might be more similar than they are different.
You mentioned two strong women there, but you've also got strong women behind the scenes as well. You executive produce the show alongside with Liz Merriweather. She's behind shows like The Dropout and more recently Dying for Sex. What was it like for you and Liz to collaborate to do this show about women and younger women's trafficking victim stories as well?
Yeah, it's incredible to work alongside women making things about women because the texture and the reality and the nuance of creating these female characters is there. And Liz she also created a show called The New Girl. So she comes from comedy and she's got this kind of darkness and this humor and this way of creating these dynamic characters that is so special. She and I both got to work with and study with and learn from former and current FBI agents and former and current detectives. And I also got to do training with them as well. So it was an incredible opportunity to really build the stories from the ground up.
Okay, well, you shared some of those pictures of your training on social media. So I wanted to ask you about one of them in particular. So you go out, you're learning some of the tricks of the trade. I think observation was one of the skills that you had to learn.
Weapons training.
Yeah.
Interview tactics, interrogation tactics, watching people. Yeah, how to load and unload mags. Scenarios training as well.
Oh, okay. There's one last picture coming up here, Emmy, that I want to ask. What is this?
I'm loading a mag, I'm loading a BB gun mag. And that's Julia Crockett, who's my movement coach, who I work on a lot of characters with. And we
What does a movement coach teach you?
Oh, you come up with the physicality for the character based on the psychological profile. So you find a way to hold yourself,
like in character.
Yeah, or with the trauma of the character. Where do they hold it in their body? Alice has a specific kind of way of feeling in her body.
Yes, when she is
also
overwhelmed.
Physically fighting. How do you fight? How do you make your body strong enough and create that transformation so that you are a weapon?
This makes sense because when I'm watching some of the episodes, and when you watch the show, you'll get this. There are moments where she is reliving trauma, but she's in her job, so she can't express it. And you do that really well. That's really interesting that you got to coach that.
I think a lot of women have been triggered at work, so
Yeah.
it's very, very relatable.
It was very relatable. Listen, you are very comfortable in your real life advocating for what's important for you. You had to fight for equal pay on the set of Shameless, which you've been very open about. You've also been very open about your decision to wear your hair curly when, you know, it seems like a small thing, but it's an important statement. Have you always had this trait and this desire to not be able to stay silent when you just see something and you're like, why are we doing this way?
Probably a blessing and a curse, but no, I feel like one of the best things about, getting older is that you're not the ingenue anymore. You don't feel pressure to be a certain way, and you do feel more confident and more sure when you know what's right.
You've been in this industry for a long time now, and viewers are going to remember you in Phantom of the Opera, which we referenced off the top. It's so different than your character in this show. But then I learned you started singing opera when you were 7.
Yeah.
And you have a 5-year-old daughter now.
Yes.
Do you sing opera with her?
No, my son, who's 3, is definitely very musically inclined. My daughter's more of an artist, and she's more of a storyteller. She's really interested in screenplay writing. My husband is a writer-director, too, so I think she's interested in being behind the camera, but she's got a lot of years for that. I'm not turning her into a pro just yet, please. Give me time.
Listen, what is story time like in your house between your career and your husband's and these young, what is it like?
It is actually funny that you asked that, because I just did a film in Rhode Island and was working on my Rhode Island accent. And I was reading Green Eggs and Ham. I won't eat them, Sam, I am. I can eat them here, I can eat them there, I can eat them anywhere. So it actually, story time becomes quite funny, but usually I try to leave my work at work.
I would listen or watch anything that you do. Emmy, thank you for being here so much.
You're invited for Green Eggs and Ham.
Amazing. Coming up, tech gadgets to keep you cool this summer.
What you can also do is put a couple of other attachments. This is the Cool Mist attachment.
Wait a second, you just upped the game.
Put this on the fan. I've never seen anything else like this.
We are halfway through summer. It has been hot out. It is staying hot out. Everyone is trying to find ways to cool down, right? So why not turn to tech to help us out? Let's turn now to tech expert Avery Swartz with her top picks to beat the heat. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is a massive thing that you have on our table right now.
Yes, look at this big baby. This is a cooling mattress topper.
Mattress topper?
Mattress topper.
Okay,
So
and you use this?
Yes, I've been sleeping on this one for about 30 nights or so now.
Okay.
And I missed it last night because it was here in the studio, and I literally missed it. Like, I want it back.
Okay, does it operate like, people have car seats that, like they have seats in your car that you can cool?
Kind of similarly.
Okay.
Okay, so this mattress topper, it's about 2 inches thick. It's made by a Canadian company called Perfectly Snug. It goes on top of your mattress, and it has air intake. So down at one end, you can kind of hear it going, but the white noise is nice for sleeping.
Agree.
It sucks air in and then blows it out underneath you and all around you.
No way.
As you're sleeping. You can control it with the buttons on the side. You can also control it using the app. Now, this is the king size one, so that's why it's so huge.
It's massive.
And so my husband and I each have our own individual controllers.
Wait,
so
what?
I can control my side on my smartphone. He controls his side on his smartphone. And then in the wintertime, it also has a heater.
Okay, this sounds really expensive.
It is. Okay, so this is not inexpensive.
Okay.
This is about $2,000 to have the king size one.
Okay.
So this is an investment.
Yes.
But then again, how much would you pay for a really good night's sleep?
Consistently.
Right?
Consistently.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of temperature, let's talk about a thermostat that you recommend.
So I really like the Ecobee smart thermostats. This is the Smart Thermostat Plus from Ecobee. This is their latest one. So smart thermostats, again, a little bit more money up front, but you save money in the long run because they're efficient. They know, when you're home because they can kind of sense movement around them. They'll change the temperature then. You can change the temperature on your smartphone. Also, if you're going to invest in a smart thermostat, check with your province or your local energy supplier. Many of them offer rebates for smart thermostats. And then my favorite part are these little babies right down here. These are the smart sensors. Because think about where your thermostat is in your house.
Yeah.
It's probably like in a hallway or
That's right.
somewhere that, is not necessarily indicative of the entire climate. Put those in your hottest room, your coolest room.
Top floor.
And it kind of equalizes out the entire environment.
That's great because it is a struggle on the top, on where our kids sleep because it's so
We've got
hot
those
up
hot
there.
rooms, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, put the smart sensor in there and then it sends the info to the main thermostat.
Amazing. Okay, personal fan.
Okay, this is so cool. This is from Shark. This is called the Chill Pill. So what I like about this is it's a little fan. It switches, so I'm gonna just turn it on for you.
Okay.
We can dial it up, make it, pretty hot. Ooh, look at that, yes, get that hair going. I like that you can kind of set it in different ways so that it can be on your desk, you can angle it.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's not just the fan.
Let's show everybody this. There's like a little
You can
digital
dial
screen.
it up,
Can
right?
you see? Wait, where's
Yeah,
my
there
camera?
we go.
you
There, it's on
go.
number 7 right now. So what you can also do is put a couple of other attachments on it.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got the normal fan going there, but
Is
if
that a
it's...
shot of what we're about to eat?
I don't know.
That is exciting. It's going to be hot by that barbecue. You're going to need this.
So this is the cool mist attachment.
Wait a second. You just upped the game.
So now we've got
You see
a
it?
bit of a humidity moment happening there, but it's so nice.
so
a little
good.
bit of mist with the air, which will cool you down even more.
I love this.
Feels wonderful. I have a little bit of water inside there. And then hang on, Lindsay, because it gets better.
Wait, what?
We have another attachment to try with this thing.
Okay.
This is called the chill plate. So hold on to that.
Yes.
It's got a piece of metal on it, which, on its own is already a little bit cool. But put this on the fan. I've never seen anything else like this.
Okay, we have about a minute left.
I know. We put this on the fan. We're going to turn it on. And the fan actually cools the plate.
Okay.
So that, give it, just
Couple
feel it now.
seconds.
It's cold. Like, it's
It is cold.
really
It's
cold.
like stick your hand in the icebox cold.
So put that on your forehead,
Oh my
put it on
gosh.
your pressure points, on your wrist. That will really
that's good.
cool you down.
Also, they have one of the coolest taglines, which says, "It's not cool to be hot."
It is. It's...
You
look really
super
cool
hot
right now.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the cooling towel. This is really
Speaking
cool.
of, so cooling towel, this is evaporative cooling. So this is a cooling towel. And what you do with this is you get it wet. Okay, I've got a little bit of water there. I'm gonna wring it out. And then this damp towel uses evaporative cooling. What that means is when you put this on your skin, or it's a big towel, you could wrap it around your neck or put it on your head. What it does is when the moisture in the towel evaporates, it pulls the heat out of whatever it's touching.
Okay.
So your skin will actually get cool and stay cool when you have this wrapped around you. And you can just throw it in the washing machine, you can get it cool again. These are like $15.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's
All
like
right,
just
there
have
we
a
go.
few of these, keep you
Amazing.
cool when you're out at the game,
Especially with
that
the
sort of
kids
thing.
too, or if you've got your
Totally.
baby, your infant. And then lastly, we can't forget about the pets.
The pets. So speaking of evaporative cooling, you can use evaporative cooling for your pets.
So cute.
So this is a Canadian company called Canada Pooch. They make evaporative cooling vests, harnesses, etc. So it's the exact same technology. You put this in the water, get this wet, wring it out.
Oh, is that your dog?
And then put it on your dog. That is my dog.
Is that
Tess? Is Tess.
Tess is so
Yep,
cute.
there she is, and she is wearing the evaporative. I mean, look at her. She's so hairy.
She's so happy.
That's a fur coat all summer long. So she wears this vest, and it keeps her cool. Same thing. It pulls the heat away as it evaporates.
And look, you could be matching with your dog.
I know,
I mean, you could be
right?
using all of these things. These are great ideas, Avery.
So
Always good to
good.
see you.
Things are getting a little spicy this morning. We are hitting up the grill with some seafood packed with protein, bright citrus flavor, and of course, the heat, which makes me happy. Chef Spencer Watts is here to show us how to make chili rubbed grilled jumbo prawns with Creole lime butter and a citrus herb salad. Chef Spencer,
It sounds
welcome.
delicious.
It sounds
You
like,
just saying it, I was
yes,
like,
let's just
that
do it.
sounds really good.
Yeah, and it sounds like a wonderful recipe. Long weekend is here for many of us.
Perfect for the barbecue.
Yes, but before we start, I want to remind our viewers that you can find Chef Watt's recipe by scanning the QR code on the screen. And let's get to it, because you got a lot of spice elements here. I like that. So,
let's do it. So at Alice Steak and Fish, we make a lot of rubs. You can buy rubs, but they're so easy to make at home.
And they're fresher.
And they're fresher, and they're cheap.
Perfect.
Dry spices
Love all of
are
that.
nice. So I'm going to get you to just massage your shrimp with a little oil.
All right.
I'm going to make the rub. So this one starts with a lot of smoked paprika, and then some herbs that wake up on the grill. Thyme, oregano, really nice and earthy, mustard powder.
Yum.
Again, the rub, you can throw anything at it. You can get really creative. Little cumin for some warmth, garlic powder. Do you like spice?
I do love spice, so you can.
The whole thing?
You can go the whole way. But
a lot of chili flakes?
So this is everything that goes in the rub, but I assume that people can sort of customize this.
For sure.
With the heat.
And the secret is throw a little sugar in it.
Okay, perfect.
A little sugar in it is going to give you some sweetness, balance out all the chilies, and then when it hits the grill, it caramelizes. Caramelization is flavor.
Right there.
And put it right
I love
there.
the caramelization. Now, these are big, beautiful jumbo prawns.
Juicy
Can you tell
prawns.
us what you look for in a jumbo prawn?
So if I'm buying it frozen, I look for it peeled and deveined.
Okay.
Which is
Makes
nice.
it easy.
Yeah, you can rinse it off to defrost it. And then if I'm buying it fresh, I like them with the shells on.
Oh, okay,
Because it kind of protects them. And then when you take the shells off, you can make soups or stocks.
Really smart, because you use everything. Now, this is the chili shrimp.
They smell so good.
It does smell good. I can smell. I love the
And
spicy.
what I like to do is when I grill them, I put them on the grill, but I leave a little bit of the grill off.
Okay.
Because the chilies and the sugar really like to caramelize. So if you find that you're getting a lot of color, you can just move it to the indirect side, the side that's not on, and it's going to save you a little bit. But the shrimp are really mild in flavor, but if you hit it with that style of rub, it just wakes it up, and it's so delicious. And you eat them, and you're like, I should eat this every day.
And I'm going to think
so
that
good.
for sure as well. Now, you also mentioned that there is a butter, a Creole lime butter that goes with it.
Alice Steak and Fish, we make a lot of butters, but they're so easy to do at home, and they last forever. So I'm going to get you to paddle this.
Okay.
This is a Creole butter.
Right.
So in there's shallots, garlic, cilantro, a little bit of oregano.
All right.
This is some Old Bay seasoning.
Old Bay, okay.
Garlic and onion, and just like the spice rub, this is kind of like your passport to flavor is open, so have fun with it.
Have fun.
Little Old Bay, and again, some more smoked paprika.
Right.
And
it
then
gives a
just
nice
to
color
wake
to it.
that up, I like to put a little bit of lime zest in it. You can add the juice, but the zest is super delicious.
Yeah.
And you can put that right
And
there.
this has a little bit of heat in it as well. Like the Old Bay has some smokiness, I think,
yeah,
too,
some smokiness
right?
to it, but the lime is really nice because it kind
Yeah.
of cuts through the fattiness of the butter.
Right.
Super
Lift
delicious.
it up. How am I doing here?
You're
with
doing
the
great. A
mix?
little bit of salt.
Things are all
And then
nicely incorporated.
When I'm on the grill,
Okay.
sometimes I'll flip those and then I'll add the Creole butter to that, and then I'll finish it with Creole butter in the coffee, in the freezer.
In the freezer. But
it's
are you going to
everywhere.
brush this on?
Yeah,
sort
but you
of
can
thing?
brush
Okay.
this on, and it's really good
All
to do
right.
it with soft butter. This is delicious.
Yeah.
And then to serve something nice and fresh with it, I love a salad.
Yes.
I'm a salad person.
And
so
you've got those citrus notes already in the butter, in the shrimp as well. So you're
yeah, and it's
mimicking
pretty
that here
intense.
as well.
Like the shrimp and the butter are intense, so you want to like lighten things up. So we're gonna make a little dressing.
Okay,
You
I'm
want
gonna
to fork it together?
Yes.
This one's simple. A little olive oil, lime juice, some black pepper, a little bit of salt, and then some honey to sweeten it up.
Yeah, you gotta have a little bit of honey in
Yeah.
your I do honey or maple syrup sometimes,
Oh,
depending
delicious
on what.
with maple
Yeah,
syrup.
very
Yeah.
nice. And then we're just going to
Yeah, you
drizzle
can
this
drizzle
on.
that on.
All right. This is a beautiful looking salad as well.
You can take a little bit of the Creole butter, just put it on top of the warm
we're just going.
shrimp.
We are going right there with
Delicious.
all the butter. I like the way you think, Chef.
Yeah.
This is great. Okay, so we got a little bit of dressing on
And
there
even
as
if
well.
you flip the prawns too while they're cooking and they get that little bit of color and that caramelization, like that's really nice. You can even put a little butter as you go.
To sort of help finish things off,
Butter
give a little bit
everywhere.
of richness to it. Oh, I love that. This looks amazing. Okay, moment of truth is the taste test. Of
Smells
course, I'm
good.
gonna grab one of these shrimp. I'm just gonna go right for the shrimp,
Yeah,
of course.
let's do it.
All right, Chef, let's do it.
It's so good.
So good.
It's so
So much
good.
flavor. I could even do even more spice, but that is amazing.
It's got some heat to it.
Pretty spicy. Okay, Chef Spencer Watts, thank you so much for being here today.
That's all for us today on Your Morning Weekend. Don't forget, scan the QR codes for Your Morning podcast, and you can get Your Morning the newsletter.
Yes, please do. And you can check out the webpage, ctvnews.ca/yourmorning to watch the show live. find interviews, recipes, and more.
There's so many places you can find us. We're also on Crave, so check us out there as well. And hey, we've got a great week coming up. On Monday, we've got the voice actors that are behind Chase and Rubble in the new Paw Patrol movie. They will be here, and that'll be very cool.
That's awesome. And on Tuesday, we're talking about AI and therapy and looking at new research that compares using chatbots instead of face-to-face therapy.
And here's another one I'm looking forward to. On Wednesday, we have a new book that looks at how social media shapes the way we experience everything. And on Thursday, we've got late summer gardening tips and tricks with expert Owen Reeves.
Oh, and then on Friday,
yeah,
Mamma Mia. Here we go again. The musical is returning to the stage here in Toronto. They've got another run. So we are speaking about why we love this show so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Canada. We will see you on Monday.